Good everyone, I hope you're having an amazing day. Welcome to another episode of Platform App Builder certification series. So today we're going to talk about compact layout and the page layout. So if you attended my previous lecture, if you will know that I've talked about how to customize an app, how to create a custom objects and custom fields, right? So this is a continuation course from the previous episode. So if you haven't watched it, I would highly encourage you to watch that one before jumping onto this one, because I'll be using the same custom object I've created. So it will make it easier for you to understand what I'm trying to do, right? So that's one of the reasons why I would insist that you go and watch my previous episode first related to platform app builder certification. Cool. Right, so what we're going to do today, right, as I said, we're going to talk about the compact layouts. Now, let me jump into the object I've created, right, first, the app. Let's go to the app, right, Beer Friday. So the first thing first, right, you need to log into your org, right, and I've used a free org, so I will highly encourage you to register for a free org. Please do not use your customer sandbox or anything to do with the customer, right? That's not a great way to learn stuff on someone else org, right? Or because Salesforce gives you an opportunity to register for a free org, and it's free. You can use it. You can do whatever you want with it, right? You can fiddle with the data. You can muck around with it. You can learn, right? It's a great place to learn anything about Salesforce, right? Cool. All right, let's get started. First thing first, I logged into my org, and this is how it looks like. So I'm going to take you to if you're following along, right, we have created something called the Beer Friday app. So it contains the two objects, Beer Friday object and the contacts, right? So the reason why I've created the Beer Friday, right? Because I said in my previous lecture that, this org is all about breweries. So when you run a brewery, so I wanted to make sure that my employees are happy. So every Friday, so we do something called Hui. So where people are encouraged to come and get together, talk about their week and have a beer. So I wanted to keep track of different beers people drink just for the sake of fun, right? Nothing fancy about it. So some people like different style of beer, right? Because since you're a brewery, we are a brewery, so we make different kind of styles of beer like ale, stout, pilsner, lager, Pacifica ale, amber ale, red ale, whatever, right? So that's one of the reasons why I've created this object, just to keep track of it. It's a fictitious company, if you're wondering, right? Okay, so now, why do we need a compact layout, right? So the two things, right? So I wanted to see, right now you see on my screen right here, this is a highlight panel, right? And you don't see any fields here, right? So the compact layout allows you to add fields here, right? And another reason why, when you, as you see that this is a parent-child relationship, or in other words, master detail relationship between a Beer Friday object and contact object. So that means when you go to contact, right, and you go to, say, Mark Miller, and then you see you have related list, so you got a Beer Friday. So when you hover over this object, right, you only see just the three. It doesn't make any sense, right? So and another thing is that you can also control how your app should look like in a mobile app, right? So the content should display in a mobile app. So the compact layout is very handy there. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna add a few fields, create a new compact layout, and add new fields and assign it to our page. Cool, right? Nice and easy, right? Nothing complicated, nothing fancy here. Right, so what we're gonna do, since we are already in a setup page, we go to Object Manager here. Excuse me. So we're gonna go to Beer Friday, and so we're gonna go this object, and so we have something called compact layout. So this is the one, right? Right now we have the system default, right? If you go to system default, it just takes a minute sometimes, depending upon the speed of the org. So it's got only one field here, Beer Friday name, right? So I wanted to create a new one so I can add more fields to it, right? And then change my compact layout assignment. So, okay, so that's pretty easy. So what we're gonna do, so we're gonna go new here, right? And then I'm gonna go Beer Friday. So yeah, and then I wanted to see the beer date here, and then I wanted to see quantity, right? And I want to see the type of beer, right? And that's 3 fields I'm interested to see on the highlight panel, right? And when you hover over the related list in the contact. Cool, save. Now it will take some time to refresh. Sometimes I have to refresh the org. At times it may not happen when you do it. I'm gonna do one thing, what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna do copy this, and hopefully I don't have to relog in it, but we'll see. Okay, so we're gonna go here, and so it's not refreshed yet. Okay, that's fine. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna log in again, and Wilson Brewery, and so it's sometimes annoying, but that's okay. Now I've re-logged in, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to the beer fried again. Okay, so I see the problem here. Now, the reason why, okay, it's still not there, right? That's cool. I know, it happens. Now, the reason why you can't see it, there's a problem here because we haven't done the compact layout assignment, right? So, in your real life scenario, you might come to this situation, right, where you did this and then you go and do something like this, right, and see what's happening, right? And you try to relog in. I'm trying to give you a scenario which you might do, right? I've done this in the past, so I'm just trying to walk you through what can happen, give you different scenarios, so you give you an opportunity to think about it, right? So, okay, so now what we're gonna do, go to compact layout assignment, right? And edit assignment, and go to system default, beer Friday, right? Save it. Okay, now go to compact layout here. You see it's a primary now, okay? Now you're gonna close this one, and I'm gonna take this link here, and then go to another tab, and let's go here. It's still not there. That's fine, right? Now we're gonna do login again, right? And I'm just gonna do Wilson Brewery. All right, let me log in here, and let's see now. Okay, and we're gonna do Beer Friday, and you're gonna do here. That's interesting. Okay, that's not a problem here. Let me, hang on. Let's look here. So the highlight panel, it determines here correctly, which is fine. Let me save it, activate it, let me save it. It should be the same. It shouldn't matter though. So I'm gonna go here and I'll refresh this boy again here, and then here Friday. Okay, all right. What we're gonna do? Let me log at some of the user, right? So sometimes it's just annoying that it takes. Okay, so we're gonna go to user, and I'm gonna go to users, and I'm gonna log in as another. I'm gonna log in as test user, and then okay, so I'm gonna go all Beer Friday, right? I'm gonna go here. There you go. So you can see that now, right? So what we're gonna do, so this is what we can see, right? Now you can go to the contact here. So, and then you can go to this hover over here, and you can see this, right? So this is one of the thing why the compact layout is important, because at least now you can, when you hover over this the beer Fridays, right, the record, you can at least make out what is it about, the type of beer you have, quantity the person been drinking, right? And so it's very handy, this option, right? So now what we're gonna do, so let me log out as a test, and then let's go back again to, sometimes it's a refresh issue, sometimes it's just Okay. Right, that's good. Now it all works fine. So, right, so now, so in your real life scenario, right, if something like this happens, I'll try to log in as a different user to say if it's working fine. If it's working fine, then re-log in back into work. So it should take care of it. Sometimes it's a refresh, right? So cache issues, so can happen. Okay, all right. So now we talked about the compact layer, a very nice and easy option. So now, I wanted to talk about a page layout, right? So, we have this related list here, and then so we have there's none in the related list, to be honest, right here, and then we have something called the details here, right? So what I wanted to do, I wanted to arrange the field layout position a bit. Let's say I wanted to put the quantity before be a date. I wanted to move the be a date to the bottom, right, after contact or whatever, right, and probably may add some other fields, right? So how to do that, right? So you can do that using page layout. That's where you can do customization. That's where the beauty of Salesforce comes in the picture. You don't have to use the code, right? In most of the other technologies, right, you might have to use the code or might not have to use the code, right? So Salesforce gives you that option where you can add fields, you can add stuff without using code. Nice and easy. Cool. So how to do that? It's pretty straightforward. So you go to this gear code icon here, go to edit object, right? It will take you exactly to the object of your interest. That's to be a Friday, right? And then go to the page layout. So right now, this is the default page, right? And so if you go here, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna do some changes here, and then we're gonna create a new page layout after that, because at times you may not want to fiddle with it, right? So you might think, okay, let me create a new page layout, right? And then do whatever you wanted to do with that. And probably what happens is that that page layout is not visible to every user. It might be depending upon different profiles. So as I mentioned, I wanted to move the quantity. You just drag the quantity and move up, and just move the beer date after the contact, right? So this is exactly what I wanted. Or probably you can move the beer date onto the right? So, and then you save, right? And then you refresh it, and then you just go back to the Beer Friday app, right? And then you go back to this one, and there you are. Right, okay, it didn't refresh properly. Okay, so what we're gonna do, so my usual technique of doing this, right? So let's log in as a different user to see if the changes have been effected or not. So we go to what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to user, right? Let's log in as some other user, right? And so let's log in as test, which is this is my test user I've created so that I can see the changes that's been whatever I'm doing change as an admin, whether it's reflected on other user as well. But so the page layout we'll be talking about here, it's common to every profile, so it should be reflected on this test user as well. So now you can see the beer rate has moved to this side, right? So nice and easy, no problem here, everything works fine, right? So let's go back to so what we're gonna do, we're gonna go back to the beer Friday here, and I'm gonna close this. Right, so it's reflected now, no problem, right? Everything works fine. Now, what I want to do is that I wanted to create a new related entries here, and I wanted to create a new page layout. That's one of my interests now. I don't want to fiddle with existing ones, so I decided to create a new page layout, right? So, and assign to few or few profile, but for now I'm gonna assign to everyone, just to keep it simple, right? So what we're gonna do as usual, so go to this gear code icon, go to edit object. It will take you to the pay object of your interest. Now, interesting thing is that when you're creating a new page layout, right, you can go and create new. But what I suggest is always good to clone from an existing so that you don't have to do most of the work. Otherwise, you need to drag and drop the fields and, wanted to do a lot of stuff by yourself. So what I often do, right, this is what I've been doing, right, because I've been working in Salesforce for a while. So this has this has served me quite well. So go to, existing page layout of your interest, right, which is like a base page layout. and go to Save As, and then you're just gonna rename it to whatever you want. So let's say Beer Friday New, okay, and then I'm gonna save it. Right, so this is the Beer Friday News. Now here you can fill whatever you wanted to do. So as I mentioned before, right, you can arrange this field back and forth. Right, for instance, we have done a change in our previous layout, right, to add a beer date, a move the beer date to the right hand side of the column, right, to the right hand side of the page. So imagine if you have to create everything new, you need to keep into consideration all the previous changes you have done, right? So when you are going to clone it, it will make sure that all the existing changes will stay in place, and then you can innovate on top of it, right? Whatever you wanted to do. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna add so related tabs here, related list. So we go to related list, right? I'm gonna add a beer history here, and then probably gonna add files. So if you wanted to drag and drop a file associated with it, right? Some people take a picture. You can, of the Beer Friday, so drinking special beers, so they can take a picture and attach that picture to your record, right? A lot of things you can do. So this is pretty much what I wanted to do for now. So I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save here. Now there is a important change, is similar to compact layout. You need to assign the page layout, right? Whatever you created is very important. Right now what's happening is that your system is pointing to, all the profile is pointing to this one, the initial layout. That's the the Beer Friday layout. So I want everything to point to Beer Friday new layout. So how to do that? Go to page layout assignment, right? And so what we're gonna do, edit assignment, right? You see, and select it. So I'm gonna go from bottom, and I'm gonna sorry. So you see, you can limit your assignment to who you want. So I want to make it for all for now. So and then I go to page layout, and I'm going to do new. So I change to new and save it. So depending upon your business requirement, right, you can ignore certain profiles here. So let's say you only want that specific page layout to be assigned to sysadmin. You can do that. You want only that profile to be assigned to, let's say, a gold partner user. You can do that, right? It's purely upon your business requirement. So for now, just to keep the demo simple, nice and easy, so I've decided to assign the layout to everyone, right? So just to give you an idea, just to give you a context there, how we can create a new page layout and assign to different profiles. Nice and easy, cool. All right, so that's done, right? Now, what we're gonna do, the same thing what we do. Let's go and log in as a separate user, just to see. So I'll go to user here, and I'm gonna log in, and then we'll take it to Beer Friday. Now let's go here, and let's go here. Voila, right? So now you can see, okay, so what we're gonna do, just for now, so you see, I don't have any option to create a new beer record because I'm not an administrator and I don't have right to do that, so that's fine. But it's just I only have view access, so that's fantastic. So now the reason why I took you to this user page, right, just to see whatever changes we have done is visible on the screen or not. So which is true, right? If you go here, you can see the related list. There are two related lists here, right? That's nice and easy. Cool. Okay, now let's log out, and I just wanted to show you one very little option. I presume you might know. If not, you should know about it. Okay, so let's go to Beer Friday, and let's see if we have this option enabled here or not. Okay. Alright, so it's visible here, right? Okay, nice and easy. Go to Beer Friday, and if you remember, we created a custom list view, right? If you don't know how to do that, please watch my previous video. I can go here, new on all. So let's create a beer dates, let's say last Friday, and then we're gonna add quantity, say 10 red ale, so Pilsner, let's say we're going to use the same user just to keep it nice and simple, right? Now, look here, right? I wanted to, so this related list, right? Beer history often tells information about some the beer related history changes, right? So let's go and change, say, quantity. I wanted to change the quantity to, oh, someone decided, oh, okay, it's not 10 beers. Instead, the person had only 3, so you can go and change it. And I'm going to refresh it. And you see, go to related list, and then you see the original value and the new value. Now, you might wonder, in your org, you might be doing this, and you might wonder, oh, nothing is happening. So what's going on? So you need to enable the tracking. So how to do that? So go to your object of interest again. So it's pretty easy. So go to your gearcog icon, go to edit object, and then so go to field and relationship, right, and go to set history tracking. I've enabled type of beers, and so you need to tick it. So if you wanted to enable the beer date, you can be a name, so you can whatever, right? Whatever makes sense for your business, right? So I've enabled 2 of them, so and I've saved it. So that's one of the reasons why you can see that if any of this changes, right, it will reflect that, okay, the type of beers has been changed. Okay, so what we're gonna do, so let's go back here, right, and then since we have added details to, let's say I wanted to change the date here, right? Say to previous date, right? And go to related list. Now, you might wonder what's happened, right? Why only 2 entries? That's because we haven't included, we haven't enabled us tracking for the beer date. That's why it's not reflected here, right? Okay, now what we're gonna do, so let's go back. And let's change the style of beer from Pilsner to, say, Porter, right? Now watch the difference here. So you can see that it's changed, right? It says that it's Porter. So this kind of information, although it may or may not, they may not test you in Platform App Developer, Platform App Builder. Sorry, I often say developer because I consider that if you are not a someone who write code, right, but you still do point and click, you're still a developer on a Salesforce platform because you're doing developer not only mean that you have to write code every time, right? In Salesforce point of view, you can do point and click. You're developing, you're customizing it. So for, in my opinion, you are still a developer, right? So you don't have to write everything using code. You are a smart developer, right? Someone who understands that at not every place you need to write code, right? That's what, it's amazing, right? So Platform App Builder, or Platform App Builder, or Platform App Developer, whatever, right? So that's why I often interchange the word. So this is very important for you to know, right? At times your business might come to you and say, look, I wanted to enable the history tracking, right? Which is for what? Because they wanted to see that who's been fiddling with the data. So this is very good option. You can always enable it to see, who's been fiddling with the data. So at least you can see which fields are getting modified. Sometimes a couple of fields are very critical for your business operation, and you can even lock down the field, right? So I'm saying that for whatever reason, if your CEO comes to you and say, look, I wanted to see who's fiddling with my data, right? So you can always enable the history tracking. It's clearly visible, right? And you can have this page only for sysadmin, right? So not every, if you, like I said, the page layout you can customize for different profile, right? If you want beer fry, so the history information related, history information only to be enabled for sysadmin, you can do that, right? It's very pretty easy to do that, and you can customize it. So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about today, because I wanted to make it nice and simple. So the next time we're going to talk about buttons and links and quick actions, right? And after that, we're done with this section. I'm taking it slow so that you can go back and practice it. I will highly encourage you to please do hands-on. This is very important. Try to understand why we're doing this, right? Why we need a page layout. Read about it and do Trailhead. It's very important because I'm covering from Trailhead, because Trailhead is a great place where you can learn stuff, right? That's one of the reasons why, I decide to teach you from Trailhead, because everything is organized, everything is systematic, and plus I'm adding some extra, stuff based on my experience to help you out, right? That's that's why I said I'm not going to charge even a single penny for this course, right? Because I wanted to help who are can't afford to to study for this course. Some courses are expensive, I understand that, so I'm just doing it for free, right? So my main aim is to to get you guys certified, and not only certified but to give you a good understanding about the Salesforce platform, so that you when you work on Salesforce really enjoy working on it, right? And feel proud working with Salesforce platform, at the same time feel confident that you can do stuff, right? So that's one of my main reason of doing this course. And certification is a great way, right, to get you recognized in the company, get you, help you get better, a job elsewhere, wherever, if you're looking for one, or you can start your own business, right? So that's, so this is one of the things. So I have a lot of plans and, in future, right? So I will do the platform, app, this one for now, and then we'll start with Einstein certification series. Then we're going to do integration one, then we're going to sharing and visibility one. We're going to do so we'll see, based on the time and availability. So okay, all right, that's all I wanted to talk about today. So I hope you found some value out of today's session. So adios and greetings from New Zealand. Take care.